It's 2024, and I think most men would tell you that the tensions in the workplace between men and women are higher than ever, especially in the wake of the hashtag #MeToo movement. But I want to let you in on a little secret. People are still hooking up with and dating their coworkers as much as ever. I mean, look, work has historically been one of the top places where people meet significant others. And although many men have concerns about making a pass at a coworker, and rightfully so, I'm here to assure you that you can connect romantically with your coworkers in an extremely safe and non-offensive way. In fact, you can connect romantically with a coworker without ever asking them out, which means you'll never get rejected and never get in trouble. And here's why. When people spend time together in close proximity, it creates an environment where attraction wants to develop all on its own. This idea was actually introduced to me about 12 years ago when I was bartending, and we called it the close quarters syndrome, which referred to the way that people would develop attraction towards each other simply by spending time together in close proximity. And what boosts the attraction even more is when you and this coworker experience stressful situations together at work, or when you work well together as a team and accomplish a big project. And this is actually backed by science. Studies have shown that close physical proximity, frequent interactions, and shared experiences can significantly influence attraction between people. And there are two key psychological theories that explain this: the mere exposure effect and the proximity effect. And I'll break them both down for you in just a moment. But in case you haven't been to my channel before, my name is KJ Harlow, and I'm on here to help men improve their understanding of dating and attraction. This is a new channel, so please support by subscribing and liking the video. Now let's dive in. So the mere exposure effect suggests that people are more likely to develop a preference for others simply by being repeatedly exposed to them, because it fosters familiarity and comfort. The proximity theory tells us that physical closeness and frequent encounters with others, such as coworkers, increase the chances of forming friendships or romantic connections by once again enhancing trust and familiarity. I wanted to share that with you to assure you that the potential for hooking up with coworkers is there. The work environment in many ways is working to your favor. You just have to be smart if you decide to pursue a girl in the workplace. And here are the exact steps you can take to pull this off. So right out of the gate, it's important that you don't ask a female coworker out on a straight up date or to a one-on-one situation unless it's super obvious that there's already chemistry. Instead, we want to take advantage of the close proximity and the repeated encounters. We want to use these frequent encounters to paint ourselves in a certain light. Specifically, we want to start by doing two key things: displaying social value and searching for common ground. These are two things that will humanize you, build trust, and set the stage for connecting outside the workplace. Now let's talk common ground first. If you've watched any of my other videos, common ground is definitely something I harp on a lot, and I focus on uncovering common ground with every new person I meet, man or woman, because the more shared values, experience, interests, hobbies, or passions that you can identify, the more someone will feel bonded to you. Common ground creates trust and goodwill, and it lowers people's defenses. The next step is displaying social status and value. And we want to display social value in two ways. First is by displaying your social status outside of work, and second is through building social status inside of work. So when you see this girl, make a point of catching up. Hey, how was your weekend? How was your trip? How's your dog? Whatever. And guys, like when you're starting out, go into these conversations without any romantic intentions. Like, just be polite and try to build rapport. If you ask how her weekend was, she'll probably ask you about yours. And that's your opportunity to display social value. Tell stories about the fun lifestyle you're living, and those stories will imply your social status. Show her the pictures from the place you traveled, or the concert you went to, the music festival, the wakeboarding boat, the ski resort, like whatever. Just paint a picture of yourself as a guy that would probably be fun to socialize with outside of work. Then there's building your social network inside the workplace. And the stronger social circle you can build inside of work, the better your chances become. And here's why. If you befriend people at work that your crush is also comfortable around, you are now setting things up to where everyone can get together outside of work in a group setting. And this is best case scenario when you're still in the rapport building stage. Now, once you've built some rapport, you need to find a way to flirt that doesn't feel like you're hitting on her. One of my favorite ways to do this is through implied future connection. I have a whole video on this, which I'll link above and in the video description, but the idea is that you playfully presume that you two will do something together in the future. For example, you could be talking about big plans you have for the weekend, like a concert, and then tease her and be like, yeah, like I would have invited you, but I feel like you'd get me in trouble. Or, I would have invited you, but I don't know, you seem like, more of a serious classical music kind of girl. Just anything that plants the idea of you and this girl potentially hanging out in the future. You need to plant the idea in her mind, and what happens is her subconscious is going to start toying with the idea of hanging out with you and getting comfortable with it. Now, whether you use this technique or not, once you've built enough rapport to where you and this woman can comfortably have conversations at work, you need to find ways to playfully tease her or compliment her. This is what will keep you out of the friend zone and keep things neutral until you make plans to hang out outside of work. One safe way to do this is mid-conversation. Just kind of pause, like with a surprised look on your face, like, wait, did you change your hair? She's gonna be like, no, it's the same. And then you'll be like, oh, weird. Well, it looks nice today. Anyway, yeah, last weekend was cool. I went out, yada, yada, yada. Just keep it moving. Like, don't linger on the compliment. Just drop the compliment and then move to the next subject. And the reason this works so well is because when you tell her, like, did you change your hair? And you drop the I'm surprised look in the middle of the conversation, the compliment comes across as sincere and in the moment, which is way better than just, hey Erica, I love your outfit today. Like, just make sure that whatever the compliment is, it's not romantic or sexual, just, nothing about her body. All right, so at this point, you've built up rapport, you've demonstrated value through a fun lifestyle and social network, and you very delicately peppered in some playful teasing and flattery. And now once you've checked all these boxes, it's time to find a way to spend time together outside of work. But you can't just ask her out directly, or, you could, but then you risk rejection, which can make things uncomfortable. So instead, there are two safe ways to try and move things outside the workplace. The first is through suggested future connection, which works like this. You're going to float out future plans you have in casual conversation. And if she perks up or shows interest in something that you're doing, you can make a soft suggestion for her to join. So instead of directly being like, yeah, you want to hang out sometime? Instead, you say something like, yeah, I've been looking forward to this show for a while. Are you a concert girl? Oh yeah? Well shit, if I had known, then I would have invited you. And then gauge her response. If she perks up, then you can make the suggestion. Like, hey, we might have some extra tickets if you want to come with. Phrase it in a way that makes it feel like this is all coming to you in the moment. And guys, you can fill in the blank with that first line. Like, yeah, you ever hit the dog park? You do? Oh man, I found the best one recently. You should go check it out. And then if she seems interested, you can follow up with, yeah, it's called Willow Park. Maybe me and Max will meet you out there sometime. Or you could be like, hey, do you like wakeboarding or water skiing? You do? Oh my gosh, check out these pictures from this weekend. Like, it was awesome. We get out there a lot. You should join us next time we're out. And then wait a moment and see how she responds. If she seems a little hesitant, don't be discouraged. Her apprehension might have nothing to do with you and more to do with the fact that y'all are coworkers. If she doesn't bite, play it cool and just keep working on building rapport. Anyway, you get the point. Just mention your plans, measure her interest, and then suggest a future connection. You're not asking her out, you're just suggesting that sometime in the future, maybe you'll get together. Now, if that doesn't feel comfortable, the second and safer option for moving things outside the workplace is to invite a group of colleagues out and then include her as part of the group. So, happy hour after work or a game night or like whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter, just some type of group setting. Now, for this to work, you need to have made some social connections in the workplace. And it's a huge plus if you're connected with people that this girl's already comfortable with. Now, I've run this bit many times, and I can tell you, this could take a few tries. You might rally up a group together, 2 or 3 times before things line up and she agrees to come out. But to increase the chances that she says yes, get other people to say yes first, because if she knows other people are coming, especially people she's comfortable with, she's way more likely to say yes. And it's even better if there's an occasion like someone's birthday or a big football game that everyone is going to watch. The idea is to make it seem as natural and comfortable as possible. Like, it's not about you and her, it's just about the group. Then once you move things outside of the workplace, that's when you can focus on flirting and escalating and building up that chemistry until the point where now it's safe to ask her out on a one-on-one date or situation. And just be patient. It might take a few times hanging out in a group setting before there feels like there's enough rapport to make your move. But guys, remember, there is no rush. You work together. You're going to see her again, and there's going to be more opportunities. So don't be impulsive or impatient. Fellas, I hope you found this video helpful. Drop a comment if you have questions, and please support the new channel. Smash that like button. Please hit subscribe. My name is KJ Harlow. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.